Baruch here with Clark Cooper, the Executive Director of the Log Cabin Republicans. How are you, Clark?
Doing very well, Baruch. Good to be here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
How does a gay person reconcile their sexuality with the Republican platform?
Well, one's orientation doesn't preclude them from being a conservative. One that can value individual liberty and individual responsibility, which are core conservative tenets that all Republicans rally around. So, like my counterparts in the party, as a fellow Republican, I'm seeking to have economic prosperity restored. I believe in American exceptionalism, not only domestically but abroad, international security, and our foreign policy. These are things that we do rally around, and Ronald Reagan said it best. He said, my 80% friend is not my 20% enemy. That said, the platform is an abysmal document. It's not reflective of the Republican Party. It doesn't reflect where the Republican Party is going today.
So you believe that the Republican Party is going in a direction where a man will be able to marry a man, a woman will be able to marry a woman?
Absolutely. I mean, the demographics are in our favor. Look, the college Republicans or the CRNC in 2009, 3 years ago, took any anti-gay language or language that would have been against the LGBT community out of their platform, out of their white papers and their documents. We've also seen evidence of that happen in state parties. A friend of mine, Chairman Ailey of Oregon, the Oregon State Party, led by younger Republicans in the state party, removed anti-gay language from their platform. Indiana did some similar things. It's being reviewed in Hawaii. Just caught up with Chairman Wilbur of Washington State. They're having a review. States are actually taking a hard look at, if we don't make adjustments, we'll have a ready relevance issue, we'll have a recruitment issue for the party. So if we do want to be a party of inclusion and we want to grow, we need to be very cognizant of those demographics. This is not just U.S. at large, this is in the conservative community.
So what do you think is holding it up? You spoke about individual liberty, and clearly the right to marry should be a part of that.
Sure. Well, and also things like DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, it's anti-conservative. It actually does violate the Constitution. There's an interstate compact issue here. The father of DOMA, Bob Barr, a very solid, well-known conservative from Georgia who helped write the bill, he was the father of the bill, said, what were we thinking? On principle, it's just mean-spirited. People should be able to marry who they love. From a conservative standpoint, it impedes upon individual liberty. It also impedes upon states' rights.
Do you think that Governor Romney will ever come around and support same-sex marriage?
I hope he does. I pray that he does. The last time we talked about this, he said we're going to agree to disagree on this, and he also recognizes that there are other issues that we do agree upon. Like Governor Romney, I do believe that we have to address some serious issues regarding solvency of government programs. I mean, these mandated programs like Social Security, like Medicare, your generation, my generation, I'm a little bit older than you, but we're both younger than Governor Romney. Our parents are set, our grandparents are set, but we do have to worry about these programs. We do have to worry about the size of government. We do have to look at what's being spent. I mean, there's a debt clock here in Tampa, over here at the forum, where one can actually see the debt increasing over and over and over as we sit here, and it's up into the trillions just since we've been in Tampa.
So you mentioned that Ronald Reagan quote, the 80%, 20%. Do you think that being a gay Republican really is about choosing your battles, choosing the economy over your sexual orientation for the time being?
Well, we're multidimensional. So I look at it this way, is that I can actually call for the repeal of DOMA, but I can also call for the repeal of Obamacare. They're not mutually exclusive of each other. And my orientation isn't mutually exclusive of me being a conservative.
Now, let's talk for a second about the youth vote. Clearly, that was
Sure.
a very important part of getting Obama elected.
Yeah.
And social issues, including gay marriage, are increasingly important to young people. How is the Republican Party going to harness that vote come the election season with anti-gay policies in place?
Well, the guidance we provided to candidates, and as we do up and down ticket, is to say be cognizant of that. Be aware that the younger the voter, the more likely they're either agnostic or actually full-on supportive of gay rights measures, be it employment non-discrimination or marriage equality. That said, it is the economy. So regardless of if you're white, black, gay, straight, what have you, everybody's worried about putting food on the table, paying their rent, making their mortgage. So the economy is number one, even amongst LGBT voters. But we should not walk away from the fact that we don't want to be the party of exclusion. We want to be the party of inclusion. And I just saw Governor Haley Barbour out here in the hallway.
Spoke with him 5 minutes
Right.
ago. Yeah.
Well, when he was chairman of the RNC, he was very cognizant about building coalitions. And just last year at the Republican Leadership Conference, Haley said it best. Purity is the enemy of victory. So if we want to maintain majorities, if we want to win elections, if we want to be a relevant, strong Republican Party and represent all conservatives, we cannot exclude certain folks. We have to include folks. And we have to be aware of what unites us, not what divides us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baruch.